want to show you the difference between, in general, Sassy, my female red Tegu, and Mac, the black Tegu. Sassy is friendly. She's not hateful. She just doesn't like to be touched. When she's sitting here and you just go to touch her, as soon as you touch her, her head is looking at your hand, and you can tell when you're rubbing her that she just doesn't like to be touched. And so Mac, on the other hand, Sassy just doesn't like to be touched. She will not be aggressive and bite you if you're trying to touch her, but she just, you can see it in her body action, her movement, her eyes. She just doesn't like to be touched. She's growing. She's not a whole lot smaller than Mac. Sassy's going pee-pee and poo-poo. Oh, that's a big one. She's really good about not dragging her tail in it. Alright, now she's back in her little spot getting warm, but as soon as I bring my hand in, she's good. She just will let you pet her, but you can see she's just not super stoked about it. But she's acted quirky a couple times and nit me on a small occasions, and nothing dramatic or super bad. So that's really good about Sassy. Now I just don't know with her female attributes. Is this just something how females or more female tend to act versus a male Tegu behavior? Mac will definitely let me pet him and rub him and massage him, and he'll sit in one place. He just doesn't tend to mind being handled. Where Sassy, when she's laying here, I'm disrupting her when I touch her, and it's just a totally different character. Her rear tail, all this rough portion on her tail, is from Mac being a male and coming up and putting his mouth on her. As you may be able to see, it just looks like her tail is not as pretty as her back. This texture and these little beads of her scales remind me of like a Gila monster, and her little bit more of her pink color, and her little bit more red, if you want to call it that. Looks kind of like the Gila monster, or Gila is what we used to call him. But yeah, her tail is definitely not in the prettiest of shape. Hopefully some of this will go away as she sheds, because she's such a beautiful reptile, and her skin is really soft compared to Mac, my male Tegu, which is more of like an armor. You know, it's harder. Her is more like a leather, a softer leather, or a suede, and so her tail is kind of getting marred up from Mac putting his mouth constantly on her. And Mac has teeth, and so Mac's not biting to hurt her, but he will come up and he will hold on like a light vice grip, and you know, just whatever he's trying to do sexually with her in these early phases of their early life. Both Mac and Sassy are a few months over a year old now, so you know, just consider that. I like watching them walk around their enclosure. Of course, I built this enclosure. It's a 8 by 4.5 or 8 by 5 big open top enclosure that I built. So they have room, but this cage is by no means really acceptable to house them all the time. Sassy is a little better in here. This enclosure for Mac, the male Tegu, which is, you know, maybe 6 inches longer or a foot longer than Sassy, my female. This cage is not acceptable. Mac is just, this is just a pen to keep him for a few hours and kind of know where he is, and he's not getting in trouble when he's in here. Sassy can live in here more full time. I try to keep wood and interesting things for them to do in here, and some rocks and things they can crawl under and over, and about 6 different kinds of dirt: clay, dirt, coconut husk. Sassy's starting to get warmed up, and so she's getting a little quicker movements. There's her tail portion that I was talking to you about, talking to y'all, where Matt grabs onto her tail. Try to limit that as much as I can, but I'm not always in here 24/7, or mostly during, you know, it's always during the day. And just Sassy digging. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Mac. Mac is moving around slowly today. He's in his hide, but I've removed the top, and the lighting is not as good over here. This is maybe more of their cool side. And so when I feed Mac more and Sassy more vegetables, you know, the leafy greens, they sleep a lot more, and they're slower to get up. I need to get him over there in light. It's a lot darker over here. You lose clarity and pixels and definition when you're in the shadows. So hopefully me rubbing him will get him up. Maybe I can coax him out. He's going to go out the hole even though the top is off. Get up, big boy. Wake up. Get him fit through the hole. Sassy's getting excited that Mac's getting up. Mac's a slow riser, that's for sure. Just like me. I would rather sleep during the day and be more awake at night. He's coming over to his warm-up pad. He's gonna see Sassy there. He likes to climb on Sassy, and Sassy's not usually as accepting as him sitting on her, but that's, I don't know if that's dominance or what, but Mac likes to climb on her even though they're not mating. But Mac is a very good boy. Let's see if I can get the camera in a little different position. Mac's is sweet. Mac's a very, Mac, M-A-C when I say that. Mac is a very cool lizard for sure. Make sure his tail doesn't knock my camera over. You know, when you think about reptiles, you automatically think, you know, oh, super hot and super humid, super tropical. But you know, and I'll speak more about Mac because he's more with me outside of his cage a lot more. Sassy, since she doesn't like to be held as much, is kind of more hands off, and I leave her alone a little bit more to do her own thing, and I don't let her roam the house. But Mac is more my buddy, and he will you know, get out and cruise around, and as long as I, you know, keep doors shut where they just can't roam the entire house freely and get into potential problems or get hurt or get lost. But Mac is such a good boy. I'm pretty trusting with Mac about being able to handle his head and do things, you know, that otherwise could be risky behavior. And Sassy's pretty similar too. I'm not, you know, as I mentioned in other videos, not super worried. About Sassy. I mean, she just has such long claws, and I have trimmed those, and those help a little bit trimming her nails. But she just, when she gets in your arms and your hands, it's just get down mode, and that means that you're going to get scratched. And when you pick her up, you're going to bleed a little. It's just the way it is with Sassy. Mac's trying to get back into his hide and wants me to put his top back on so he can go to sleep. If I waved a mouse or a rat in here, they would surely wake up super fast. But recently I've been trying to feed Mac more a mash of food, you know, grapes, bananas, chicken hearts, chicken livers, chicken gizzard, vitamins, and mashing that up into really small pieces and kind of making it, you know, kind of a liquid mash. Looks like Matt's gonna take his poop, but I need to take him into the bathtub so he doesn't mess in his cage. It's a lot easier to keep clean when they don't go poop in the cage. Mac just yawned. A big yawn. Would have been cool to catch on camera. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Till the next video. Bye-bye.